Oh my goodness. Here we go, Broncos country. Here we go. Do you believe in these 9-2 AFC West division leading Denver Broncos? Oh my God. Feels great, baby. That win. Kansas City 9-2 at the bye. We got a lot to celebrate to get to on today's program. It's going to be an outstanding show because the Denver Broncos got it done against the Kansas City Chiefs in what was a fantastic and entertaining game. Do you believe? I want to know. Do you believe? Broncos country. Orange and Blue today, Postgame Live, Cecil Lammey, fired up. Get your comment section going. And let's talk about the Denver Broncos kicking ass. Double live gonzo, ready to go, 9-2. But before we begin the show, the American Dental Association reminds you to brush, floss, and gargle just like Tony Romo does when he's calling a Chiefs game, am I right? These are the jokes, everybody. Feeling great on a Sunday. Fired up. Woo! Let's go, Broncos. Who wants it? Nick Wright, wrong. Drew Spivak, wrong. Everyone who doubted these flipping Broncos, wrong. I said 13 wins, and y'all called me crazy. Who's crazy now? 9-2 at the bye. Take that. My God, the energy, amazing. The atmosphere, outstanding. The Mile High Magic back, and we are ready to go. Broncos country. Wow, what a great game. What an absolutely great game. And at the end of the day, that's what you ask for. You ask for exactly what the Denver Broncos did in this game. Chains out. Bo Leaf shirt on, fired up and ready to go. And oh my God, so excited about this team. So excited about what the Broncos did and the way they were able to beat Kansas City. It is time, more than enough time, to celebrate Broncos country as we talk about a 9-2 Denver Broncos team beating the Kansas City Chiefs. This is an outstanding performance. 22-19 is that final score. We got a lot to get to in this program. Many thanks to Frank Crum. Yeah, that's right. Wyoming Cowboys, baby. Frank Crum getting the first shout out. Game ball going to Frank Crum, blocking that kick. Extra point blocked by number 73 on the field, number 1 in your hearts, at least up there in Laramie. Shout out to, hey, Troy Franklin, man. I saw a lot of people hating on Franklin, question marks. I've said that you need 10 targets a game for Cortland Sutton. You heard Tony Romo when he wasn't blowing bubbles at the Chiefs. You heard Romo say you need 20 targets between Cortland Sutton and Evan Ingram. Well, he hasn't been paying attention because those aren't going to go to Ingram. They did kind of go to Sutton, which I like, but I saw a lot of people out there doubting Troy Franklin. Who's doubting now? Listen, with Franklin, you're just going to have to take this, okay? I know the drops are frustrating. Trust me, I have a text thread going with my buddy Mark about during the Broncos game. And during the game, and I see a lot of people tweeting. I don't participate in Twitter during a game because it takes away from the experience. If it doesn't for you, that's fine, baby. I don't even care. I'm on cloud 9, cloud 10, right there. I'm gonna go get my Broncos visor. Cloud 10 for the Denver Broncos. Cloud 9 for 9 wins, 9-2 at the bye. This is outstanding. This is what a Super Bowl contender looks like. And if you didn't believe, I don't even know. The bandwagon's closed. It's shut. It's stopped. We're not letting anybody on. Nobody gets on this hype train. This is it. You're here with the Broncos or you're against the Broncos, right? Hate to sound like, Darth Sidious or George W. Bush. You're either with us or against us. Like, listen, you're on this bandwagon or you're not. And if you jumped off and they're frauds, how much of this crap do we not have to listen to? That's the best part of this win, is that now all the Bo doubters, all the Broncos doubters, the Sean Payton doubters, you get to shut the hell up. Yay. Time for you to be quiet and sit down and watch real football. The Broncos had a hell of a game plan in place, even without J.K. Dobbins. As much it was a kick to the nuts, an absolute gut punch to have J.K. Dobbins done for the year. He could be ready by Super Bowl time. That's what I'm saying, everybody. Like, it was a nut punch yesterday. It was a celebration today because of beating the Chiefs. For everyone, they can't beat them. They can't beat the Eagles, beat them. Oh, they can't do this, beat them. Oh, they can't come back, beat them. Can't beat Kansas City, beat them. It is fantastic. It is glorious. It is amazing. I want everyone to celebrate responsibly tonight. However you take in your celebrations and whatever you like to enjoy during those celebrations. I might have some Topo Chico and overeat tonight because, oh my God, what an amazing game, an amazing win, an amazing time to go to the bye at 9-2. They could be undefeated. For all the naysayers and the haters and the doubters and the morons out there, they could be undefeated. And yeah, I called y'all morons if you doubted the Broncos, because you're moronic. Like, you have to see this thing play out, much like the Troy Franklin tweets. When I saw people tweeting about, oh, Franklin and the drops, what's going on, Franklin? And guys trying to be cute, talking about how Franklin doesn't wear gloves. He wears another accessory. I can't even remember what people were saying. Like, he's got frying pans for hands, all this sorts of crap, nonsense, garbage. And the main thing is now we get to see more of the people in the Denver media lie about how they love Bo Nix. We know who was on board with Bo. We already know. We know if you believed or not. Did you believe? Did you believe or not? We already know. Right? I don't need anyone lying out there in the Denver media being like, I was totally down with Bo Nix. No, you weren't. Shut up. All the Bo haters, shut up. It's going to be a fun one tonight. I am on one like you wouldn't believe. Fired up. Haven't even had my third Mountain Dew of the day. I don't think I'll have a third today because the Broncos give us that energy of this win. It's so God blessed good. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, baby Jesus, for getting the Broncos this win. I'm over the moon, man. I'm over the moon for what this means for this team. You go into the bye, you get your rest, much deserved rest for this Broncos team. You come out of the bye, you've got some more games to win. Let's march this thing to Santa Clara. You with me? Or are you against me? Are you against the Broncos? I don't want to say us because I don't play for the team. I just get to talk about this team having a hell of a season in year 2 of Bo Nix. And without a sophomore slump game today, 2 down games for Bo Nix in a row. And listen, for the love of God, if you can't talk honestly about this team, then just stop. Because on this Broncos hype train, we're going to be hyped about taking this team to the Super Bowl. We're going to thumb our noses and probably raise some fingers towards the people that doubted the Denver Broncos. But at the same time, we're going to talk honestly about this squad. And the truth isn't meant to make you feel good. And the truth of the matter is, over the last 2 contests, Texans and Raiders, Bo Nix had not played good football. Now, you had won, but you'd wanted your quarterback to look better. Bo redeemed himself, a redemption game for Bo Nix. So I'm going to go through it all. A little scatterbrained right now, a little tired, a little wired. It's a movie quote. But I'm ready to go and really just praise on Sean Payton, praise on Vance Joseph. My God, VJ, where's VJ at? Got to bring VJ in right here on this show. That's right, Vance Joseph. Thank you, VJ. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, what are you looking at now, Mahomes? Huh? Looking at the Denver Broncos. You're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs may not even make the playoffs. They now have a 7% chance to win the AFC West, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for all of it. This is fantastic for the Broncos. All I've been doing is like ranting for 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Again, like this is amazing for what it does for this team, the confidence that you can build from this team. But I'm going to go back and talk about Bo Nix. I'm going to start there. Troy Franklin gets a game ball. Frank Crum already gets a game ball. The entire Broncos defense, yes, even you, Riley Moss, get a game ball in this one. I would say Marvin Mims gets a game ball. So good to have Marvin back. Bo Nix, obviously, game ball. Cortland Sutton, key downs, key plays from Court. More Court is necessary, and the running back issue is not fixed. Okay, so we're going to talk the good. We're going to talk the not so good. Again, without J.K. Dobbins, you could tell he was missed today. Now, the Broncos win. That's all that matters, but we're also not going to lie and be like, oh, they're totally fine at running back. They're not. And we'll see if they make some sort of move, whatever that move could be, during the bye week or after the bye, whatever. But let's talk about it all. And let's start with that game from Bo Nix. Bo Nix going 24-37, 295 yards, no touchdowns, no INTs. Now, how is that a redemption game? Sacked a couple of times. Okay. How is that a redemption game? Because Nix was settled against a Spagnuolo defense. And God bless America. God bless America. When I asked Joe Lombardi, I'll see if I still have that clip in here, about like, what's Bo got to do? What's Bo got to do with his feet? And when Joe Lombardi gives me the answer, you hear it. You know, the word experience comes up. Experience for Bo Nix. Are you experienced, as Jimmy would say? You can hear Jimmy, but do you listen to Jimmy? Like the experience that Bo Nix is getting, the experience he has now playing against the Spagnuolo defense, a fantastic game plan from Sean Payton down J.K. Dobbins, and have Bo Nix be so settled. I can't wait to rewatch this game. And full disclosure, other than to chart plays, I watched that Raiders game twice. Normally I watch Broncos games 3 times. This one might be 4 because it's a bye week. But in going back to that Raiders game and going back to the Texans game, we know that Bo Nix was not calm in the pocket. He would go one and abandon. He basically wouldn't even really get to a second read. And even Tony Romo, again, when he wasn't gargling, Tony Romo did actually say that as well. So I appreciate Romo for not just every play, every down for the Chiefs. This is where Kansas City. And anyway, get off track. Okay, Tony Romo, maybe you should start thinking about Bo Nix in your fantasies instead of Pat Mahomes. But either way, as I look at this situation with Bo Nix, his feet were so much better. He was so calm and collected, and this is how Bo can be. Again, a redemption game, no touchdowns, no picks, but no touchdowns, but a redemption game for Bo Nix because this is the type of player he can be. Now you want more touchdowns, blah, 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 all those sorts of things. I've never seen a better 0 touchdown game. Like, this is outstanding. This is fantastic because of how settled he was. And I'll see the advanced data when all that comes out about how much Spags blitzed him. He's excellent against the blitz. I talked to Bo about 3 weeks ago about that, about like he's so good against he's so hot right now. He's so good against the blitz. So when you don't blitz him, I really thought the Raiders might have given the Chiefs a key. But Spags, it's kind of like Sean Payton. You know, Sean Payton's, there's new ideas. There's, what is it? Insert, escort, and exit. It's the 3 type of motions that are becoming so trendy right now in the league. And Sean Payton's still stuck on jet motion. But anyway, like, there's ways to change things up. Sean's kind of stuck in his ways. He's innovative, but he's also stuck in his ways. Spags is the same thing, because the way that you kind of not really confuse Bo Nix, but the way that you get Bo Nix to play a poor game is you don't blitz him. And that's a sign of a great quarterback, by the way. If you blitz, you judge quarterbacks on 3rd down, red zone, and the blitz. And Bo Nix is damn good under the blitz. So cool under pressure. Under fire from the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones getting his 3rd. Great. Awesome. I wish Chris Jones would have been the Broncos draft pick after Super Bowl 50, but he plays for Kansas City, so forget him. And there's another word that I could use there, but I'll just say, forget the Kansas City Chiefs. Forget Kansas City. How about that? How about you guys take that? So with Bo Nix, it's the settledness, the calmness, the precision that Bo Nix was able to operate with. And it wasn't all perfect. It's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes when I see these Twitter actions mid-game, by the way, and by the end of the game, those tweets have aged incredibly poorly. When I see these reactions, I'm like, do you not watch football? Like, this is football. Football. It's like back and forth, ballet, violence, like strategy, chess. It's everything. Football is life, man. And it's glorious. Like, obviously, I wanted the Broncos to win, but this is one of those games you go, this is just a hell of a game. Because the Chiefs were desperate, and you could tell. I'm going to get back to the Chiefs' desperation in just a little bit. Let me continue talking about Bo Nix. I want to play this clip from Joe Lombardi and listen to what he said when I asked him about, hey, when Kurt Warner and Chase Daniel are talking about Bo's feet needing to be better, is that just something quarterbacks have to work on all the time, regardless of their, years in the league? What Lombardi said is what he was coaching Nix. Now, remember, take this as this was asked on Wednesday by me. Now, look at the game you just watched. Look at how flippin' brilliant Bo Nix played in this game. Look at how his feet were fantastic. And think of how Joe Lombardi coached him based on these comments.
It's always a tricky thing. I think the guy that we're playing this week, Mahomes, he's changed maybe the perception of the position where it's, he throws so much off platform and has so much success. And so there's a fine line. You have to walk there. There are times where you're like, man, I wish, the quarterback would have kept his base and been in a better position to throw. And then the next snap, he's off running for a 20-yard gain. And so it's definitely something that you have to work on, and just having that experience of like, man, I can anticipate this route's about to come open, so I'm going to stay in my base and climb, versus, man, I don't know where I'm going with this ball. I got to start moving in a way that gives me a chance to scramble. And then having the physical ability that, something popped I didn't anticipate, and being able to throw off platform. So there's a lot that goes into it. Being around Drew for as long as I was, I appreciate what those guys are saying. But I also understand that each player is unique, and, it's dialing it in where, you have the right footwork for the right situation is something that comes with experience.
There you go. There's that E word again, experience. It's the experience that Bo Nix has, and Spags didn't not blitz him. Again, don't blitz Bo Nix. He'll make you pay. He'll make you pay on those key third downs. And I understand, again, probably shouldn't be stuck on the Tony Romo thing, but I just had to sit through 3 hours of listening to him go on and on about how great Kansas City is, even though the Broncos are clearly the superior team. Just Spags is going to blitz you on when high pressure situations. Wrong. Be like Charlie Murphy. Wrong. Yeah, wrong move to blitz Bo Nix on high pressure situations. But it was the comfort level in non-high pressure situations that Bo Nix had that was outstanding. It was outstanding. His feet were settled. He didn't have the happy feet. He wasn't abandoning the reads immediately. And Lombardi just said it in that quote. He said so much in that quote. It's the best answer Joe Lombardi's ever had, ever. Even if there's a fire. Nothing but movie quotes tonight. But Lombardi told you everything. Bo Nix did it. He went out and did it. You can be coached to do it, but then you have to go execute. And that's also a problem. I'd say the screen passes are a big problem for this team, but you've got to go get it. You've got to go execute. And the Broncos, Bo Nix did just that with a calm mind and the measure of a great athlete. Make no mistake about it. Bo Nix is a great quarterback. He doesn't always play great, but neither did Elway, neither did Peyton Manning. Yes, even the savior of New England, which is so annoying, Tom Brady. These guys, you don't play perfect all the time. Not every throw's a touchdown, okay? But Bo Nix is a great quarterback. He's a great quarterback, a great leader for this Broncos team, and it's not even the end of his second year. We already know he's a franchise quarterback. Stop with this disaster that anyone had talking bad about Bo Nix. He's going to have some bad games. We're going to talk about those bad games. How does he get better? Settle down. Settle down. Calm. Operate with a calmness. Sean's got to get on the same page with Bo, and I thought Sean maybe a few too many screens, but he called a hell of a game. Down J.K. Dobbins. This running back issue is an issue. Make no mistake about it. Love R.J. Harvey, whatever. Real happy for Jaleel. Happy that Jaleel, game ball for Jaleel, of course. Happy he got back in the end zone. Love to see that fire and energy. Still like him as more of a scat back, but whatever. The Broncos got it done. Now they can go on their bye and they can readjust. Where are they? All these sorts of things. And remember, just like in the fourth quarter, where this team is now 7-2, and those 2 are last-second field goals, by the way, when this team is damn near undefeated in the fourth quarter, when they have these great and one-score games, they come out and they get it done. Do you know what the great thing is? The great thing is the season has quarters. Now, the quarter pole is at the end. Again, my family used to have race horses, quarter horses mainly, but we used to have some race horses back in the 80s. The quarter pole's at the end, okay? When they got to 4 games, I heard everyone talk about the quarter pole. The quarter pole's at the end of the race. It's not at the beginning of the race. Anyway, guess what this team's going to be excellent at? The quarter pole. Because guess what this team is excellent at in the course of a game? And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So this team, fourth quarter of the season, and we're not quite there yet. Looking at my handy-dandy schedule that Mason and I did the day the schedule came out, I had them at 8-3 at the bye. They're 9-2 at the bye. God, I love that. So your final games, you got a couple more, Washington and the Raiders. So your quarter pole, your last 4 games, including Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers. Jaguars doing the Broncos a favor by beating down Kansas City, beating down the Chargers too. So thank you, Jacksonville. Can't always say that. But if I look at this team and I look at Bo Nix being settled, it's so very important. It was the absolute key for this game. The number one key for this game was that Bo Nix was settled and he was calm and he was collected and he was under pressure and it didn't matter. They sent blitzes. He threw at the blitz. It's football 101. You're going to blitz me from that side. I'm going to throw to that side. And as long as the pass isn't batted down or tipped up in the air and picked off, you know that that's what Bo Nix is going to do. He's not going to be rattled by your pressure. He might be confused by some of the back end stuff that he sees. And as Lombardi said in that answer, again, I think that answer is everything. But in Lombardi's answer of you've got to be able to know, I've got to stick with the play. Let things develop. Yes, pressure's around me, but I've got to stick with the play. And then there's sometimes when you're going to be something popped that I didn't see and I got to take off to run. Bo Nix wasn't doing that. Bo Nix in the 2 previous games was not reading the defense and then making a play with his feet. Bo Nix was abandoning the reads too fast and then taking off to run, throwing off the timing of the offense. This offense, and anyone who watches the coaches film, sick brag, bro. Ladies, line forms to the left. Anybody that watches the coaches film, you see guys open all the time. It's Sean Payton. He's going to scheme guys open. Bo's got to find them. Bo's got to stay with the play. Guess what Bo did today? Guess what Bo did tonight is that he stayed with the play. He let the routes develop. He hit the open guys. And I think it's fantastic. You're without J.K. Dobbins, one of the best running backs in the game. And Bo Nix goes 24-37, 295 yards, almost damn near a 300-yard game with no touchdowns, no picks, but still. And then spreading it around. Oh, God, math. One. I won't count the Bo Nix attempt because, hey, R.J. Harvey doesn't need to throw any more passes, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry. 9 times. 9 wins? 9 times. 9 different receivers got a pass from Bo Nix today. That's outstanding. I mean, he's even going to Adam Prentice at times. So he's making the right reads. He's sticking with the play. He's finding the open receiver, and the Broncos are winning. So take that, Kansas City. And it's fantastic because now the Broncos are in the absolute driver's seat for the division title. And they said it was about winning the division first. Your first goal in an NFL season is to win the division. So the Broncos are now in the driver's seat to win the division. Doesn't mean that they will, but they're obviously with 9 wins. They're almost at their win total from last year of 10 wins. And it's why I'll call out anybody, even my friends, that said 11 wins for the Broncos. 11? You don't believe. 11. This is barely more than last year. They're already at last year's total, basically. So, yeah. How many games can this team win? Hell, I was wrong at 8-3 at the bye. Am I wrong about 13 wins? Is it actually 14 wins? Now, every Super Bowl champion that the Broncos have ever had have had a 2-game losing streak in the month of December, and then have gone on to win Super Bowl 32, 33, and 50. So if the Broncos dropped a couple in December, I wouldn't mind that. But win as much as you can. That's my thing. Win as much as you can. If you're the Denver Broncos, go out there and set yourself up. I know that everyone can't help but talk about Drake May, and Drake May's playing good football. I know everyone can't help but talk about, hey, even me saying like, hey, a team like the Ravens, if they make a run, the Steelers aren't dangerous. The Colts are dangerous. The Patriots can get hot. The Bills can get confused. The Chargers always choke. Until they stop choking, I'm never going to say that they're like a threat. The threat is Denver, New England, and Indianapolis. Are the Broncos not only 9-2, but are they one of the elite teams in the NFL? My answer is yes. My answer was already yes. My answer was yes back in April. So, great job, Broncos. Absolutely fantastic job to get this win. To have Troy Franklin 4 for 84, clutch catches. Yes, some drops. That's what you're going to get. Troy Franklin's going to do this, and you can lose your mind, or you can just be like, well, that's just Troy Franklin. It's just going to come with the territory. Hopefully he catches the big ones. And he caught the big ones today. Pat Bryant. More Pat Bryant, please. 5 for 82. Cooley to the big 48-yarder. Glad he was okay. Getting checked out for that concussion. Cortland Sutton, 4 for 59. Clutch throws. Again, I want Court to have 10 targets a game. He had 8 targets in this one, so close enough. And the Broncos win. But I would like every week a mandate that Cortland Sutton gets 10 targets. Evan Ingram, 5 targets, 4 catches, 33 yards. RJ Harvey, 3 catches, 20 yards. There's Prentice, there's Troutman, and then Jaleel had 1 for -5. The passing game was on point. Bo Nix was comfortable, calm, cool, and collected. And Kansas City's got to go back to the drawing board because they're not good enough. The Broncos are good enough, and in fact, the Broncos are elite. A 9-2 at the bye. The Broncos are one of the elite teams in the NFL. You can't say it about the Colts and the Patriots and not say it about the Broncos. And the way this defense is playing, if that offense plays the way they did today, you're not going to face a Spags defense all the time. Spags defense is pretty good. And you saw the number at some point during the game. What is it? The Broncos holding opponents to an average of 17 points. The Chiefs are holding opponents to an average of 19 points. Something like that. Top of my head. If someone in the chat room wants to correct me, so be it. So you faced a tough-ass defense, strong defense from Spags, blitz-heavy defense, and you were able to get it done. Absolutely fantastic for the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix to be able to do that. So are they among the NFL's elite? Yeah, and if you don't think so, you're just wrong. Sorry. Like, we got to stop like, well, then what had happened is that, you could go back to the Eagles game. Like, well, what had happened if they didn't just go away from Saquon Barkley? No. What's your record? And listen, I know Sean Payton went after my guy, Luka Evans, who's a newcomer to the scene in Broncos country, does a great job for the Denver Post. And when Luka said, I know what your record is, what you are, but, and Sean's like, there's no buts. There's no buts. There is no spoon. There is no but. They're 9-2. They're among the NFL's elite. Like it or not, Nick Wright. I love it. I love this win for so many reasons. I want to just hold on to this win forever and just go back to it. When I'm having a bad day, I want to think about this game. And I want to think about this win. And I want to think of all the shushes that the guys out there and ladies that didn't believe in the Broncos, you don't get to say anything right now. Let the Broncos speak, and they spoke with the big win. So, absolutely fantastic time. How do you feel? Chat room, react to me. I got 1,155 comments right now, and halfway through the post-game show, it is time to get to your comments. But before I do, how about we hear a word from our sponsor?
Today's episode of Orange and Blue Today is presented by Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Ramos Law was founded by Dr. Joseph Ramos, an attorney and ER doctor, to provide exceptional care to those injured in accidents. With a unique understanding of both medicine and law, the Ramos Law team is built to fight for you every step of the way. Experience the Ramos Law difference. Contact them today at ramoslaw.com.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Sean Payton. Thank you, Bo Nix. Thank you, Vance Joseph. And thank this guy. Those crazy eyes. Look at that. You're going to go away from this guy? Look, crazy. He's crazy. He's a psychopath, and he is the Broncos franchise quarterback. Let the boy watch. Let us all watch in the glory. Because Kansas City's reign at the top of the AFC West, it is over. It's over, VC. That's right, over. And this game gets the highest compliment you can get paid on Orange and Blue today, and that is the Patrick Bateman kiss. Yes, right there. Thank you to everyone out there for watching. Thank you for jumping in the comments section. How do you feel about this game? Sace says Nix is cold-blooded. That's right. He's absolutely cold-blooded. I mean, the pressure is on. The pressure is at its highest, and Bo Nix is at its calmest. And he took to the coaching that they had for him, obviously, during the week. During the week, the coaching emphasis for Bo was to stay with the play. The coaching emphasis for Bo was obviously keep your feet. Have better footwork. Don't abandon plays. When Bo Nix does that, he plays like this. No touchdowns. I don't give a crap about the no touchdown thing. This is the way Bo Nix can play on a weekly basis. Yes, with more touchdowns, obviously. And you're not going to play a Spags defense. The thing is, he went up against one of the toughest defenses in the league. Listen, I can't stand Kansas City. Like, honestly, I don't even eat as much barbecue as I should because of Kansas City. I'm kidding. I love barbecue, especially brisket. Have brisket for Thanksgiving. Anyway, like, I pretty much hate Kansas City. Hate Travis Kelce. Can't stand his fiance. Like, all that. Like, I hate. Nothing but hate. Respect Mahomes in his game, but I hate the Chiefs. Hate everything to do with them. Hate it all. Bo Nix played one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, and he just did that. Bo Nix had that sort of game, damn near 300-yard game, against one of the toughest defenses in the league. You have Bo Nix playing like that. You have those young receivers, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, and apologies to all the Devon Vele fans, including our very own Zach Bye. Why would you need Devon Vele? Huh? Like, seriously. But Devon Vele, again, greatest guy ever. He can't get on the field for the Saints, and they're terrible. I think maybe he is now getting some time, but still, like, you didn't need him because you had Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant is the number one receiver of the future. It's not Troy Franklin. Now, maybe it's forced to be Troy Franklin because Troy Franklin's their number one receiver right now. And in fact, what I'll be watching for is the coverage now rolling from Franklin or from Sutton to Franklin. Because once that happens, go back to Sutton. Then that's the so money right now. Money. Oh God. Boner Lord says, does Boner Lord 420? And we'll let that one hang. Does Nick Wright do cameo? Yeah. Wouldn't that be funny? Darren Rizzi redeemed himself. Just meats, man. Maybe like that brisket that I want for Thanksgiving. Just meats, man, says Darren Rizzi redeemed himself. I felt pretty good about special teams. Pretty good about special teams. in this performance. And again, not everything's going to be perfect. Not everything was perfect on special teams, but you feel good about the performance today. That's for sure. Cody Snyder saying Broncos LFG. Let's flip and go. That's right. I love this one too from Troy Bird. This will shut up the national naysayers. I don't need Colin Cowherd to jump on and off the Broncos bandwagon. How many times that guy's done that? Are his ankles okay? Someone needs to check with Colin to make sure that his ankles are okay, because he keeps backpedaling on, well, Bo Nix. Oh, I love Bo Nix. I told you, Bo Nix. Like, stop. You're either down or you're not. And even through Bo Nix's struggles, which I have talked about plenty, it didn't stop Bo leaving. I put out the picture last week on Twitter of Steve Carell from The Office when he's got his face all serious of like, I'm just going to Bo leave even harder now. With all the national naysayers, I've got 2 words for you. One I can't say, and the other one is you. So again, I love this game. I love this game of football. And I love this game that we saw from the Denver Broncos. Absolutely fantastic. Touchdown Bo Nix, one of the real ones out there, one of the best ones in the chat room. Touchdown Bo Nix. RJ isn't a featured back. We have to talk about everything, right? Now, as a team, you ran 21 times for 59 yards. That's not good. Now, you faced a Spagnuolo defense, but it's not like Spags was, working to really shut down the run game. Spags would have preferred, and you have to make these choices. You go into a game, you're like, we're not going to let this guy beat us. And Spags would probably, hey, if they can beat us on the ground, good. They didn't beat him on the ground. They beat him through the air. But the Broncos' run game is a problem. They're 9-2. They're an elite team in the NFL. The ground game is a problem. And if you can't say that, you're not paying attention. And again, you can believe, you can back this team. I said they were 13 wins. When I put out the J.K. Dobbins thing on Twitter, and it's not all about Twitter, but I probably muted about 4 or 5 people that were like, oh, you're so negative. Negative? I just said they made a mistake by not getting running back depth. I didn't say they should have replaced J.K. Dobbins with Breece Hall. I said you should have gotten more running back depth before the trade deadline. You're in a Super Bowl window. And you're not crazy for saying that. People said I was crazy when I said they were elite and they'd get 13 wins. They said I was crazy. I don't care, by the way. Say whatever. Greg Penner likes me. All right? Say whatever you want about me. That's fine. Leave my kids out of it. Leave the family out of it. But say whatever you want about me. I don't care because Greg Penner likes me. But when people said I was crazy, they're a Super Bowl team, what do you say now? They're 9-2. They're an elite team in the NFL. What do you say? And what are the national naysayers going to say now? What does Richie Carney say about this win? Richie, I'm fired up. So much so I don't even have to have another Mountain Dew today. I'm done drinking Mountain Dew. I just have to drink in this Broncos game. It's fantastic. You're by your fridge. You got any Mountain Dew in your fridge?
I think I've got like 40,000 cans of Canada Dry, but no Mountain Dew.
Well, I'm not coming over then.
Listen, that is about whatever I was about to say. There could be no more ringing endorsement in terms of the energy and the life that this win just pumped into the Broncos as a team than you saying you don't need another Mountain Dew. I truly don't know if I could have a more impactful statement on how meaningful this game was than that.
Yeah, and that jersey looks sweet, by the way.
It does. This is the maiden voyage of it. I took the tags off of this.
Nice. I'm going to get you one of these Bo Leave shirts, man. So you got to have
I do like those. I do like those. I've seen the stickers.
We got a sticker up in the studio because we believed when others did not, and Bo responded. This is a Bo bounce back game. No touchdowns, no INTs. I don't even care. Don't you think Bo Nix responded to the last couple of games?
Cecil, I made the note immediately on the first drive. Within 3 plays, I said, oh, okay, Bo already looks more comfortable and poised in the pocket than we have seen him for large stretches of this season. There was no happy feet. There was no bailing out and rolling to his right. There was no indecision. He stood in the pocket and he delivered. They dealt with some drops and some miscommunications and miscues early, but they kept at it. They were consistent enough with it, and they did enough to win. Scoring 22 points and beating a team like the Chiefs in Kansas City, who Steve Spagnuolo is no joke, and any opportunity that you give Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to take advantage of, they usually do, and the Broncos did enough tonight.
Yeah, they did enough tonight. They did it offensively. We'll get to the run game in just a little bit, but I already made fun of the Devon Vele supporters. Yes, even our guy Zach, because it's like, I don't want to get in the way of Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin. Everyone's got to stop tweeting about Franklin during the game. Let him come up clutch just like he did.
What a perfect microcosm of the Sean Payton mindset, the philosophy, the confidence in that Bo Nix has in a guy like Troy Franklin. I mean, the first quarter and a half or so sample size of Troy Franklin was kind of reminiscent to how it feels like we talk about Riley Moss every other game. It's like he's a slappy, get him out of there, trade him away. This is the guy we got rid of Vele to give more touches to, blah, blah, blah. And then who seals multiple massively critical, important catches, including the one to essentially seal the game for the Will Lutz opportunity? It's Troy Franklin. So clearly, the talent, the vision, and the role that Sean Payton envisioned when he brought in a guy like Troy Franklin, and Bo Nix's continued faith and belief and confidence, especially considering how last year went, a lot of that could have gone out the window. And it hasn't. And all of those decisions led to that moment at the end of the game, making that catch to secure the game-winning field goal.
It's simply fantastic as Bo Nix continues to learn and calm down. I already played the Joe Lombardi clip from Wednesday or Thursday from my question to Lombardi about like, hey, you just got to work on his feet all the time. I thought his footwork and the way he responded, the calmness he had. This is a huge game. Did you feel how desperate Kansas City was? Because I did.
Yes, and listen, we had the conversation across all of our platforms and all the different shows all week about, the concept of a must-win game for the Broncos. They themselves, via Adam Schefter and everybody else, was calling it the biggest game in a decade, basically, since Super Bowl 50. And they clearly carried that kind of mentality into it, despite Sean Payton, in his most Sean Payton way, saying, well, we're going to play in bigger games. This is the next one. And he proved to be right. Just like he gets to probably pat himself on the back and say, see, I told you I liked the matchup after Wild Card Weekend if we didn't get stomped by the Bills. But it was just as much of a must-win game, in my opinion, for the Kansas City Chiefs, given the way the AFC West now shakes out with LA losing, which extends Denver's lead. And for Kansas City, you're fighting for a wild card spot at this point, and they just made it harder for themselves.
Yeah, they just made it harder for themselves, or maybe even impossible with the Colts up next. But forget Kansas City. Let's talk about the Broncos and this defense. I mean, Vance Joseph, my God, somebody's thinking about hiring Vance Joseph right now as a head coach, because what a game plan he always has for Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, Cecil, I'm not going to lie to you. I want a scandal. I want something to come up. I want something, because the idea of Vance Joseph being here for maybe another year or so, depending on how this season shakes out, I'm really starting to grow on the idea. And while I fully believe that he is deserving of, wants, and will likely get another opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL, and I will be happy for him if and when that comes, I am okay in this moment in time, especially basking in the glory of a win over Kansas City, in being a little selfish to say I wouldn't mind VJ sticking around and doing some of these things year in and year out for a couple more years.
Yeah, and since you said fully, I have to say fully, man. You have yet to quote a movie on the postgame show. That's one of the rules. Jumping on board. I think I did.
All right, I'll mix one in. See, I didn't know the rules, Cecil. I didn't know the rules. I'll mix one in.
Movie quotes, and just maybe some raised appendages for the doubters out there. The best thing about this game, dude, it's not the 9-2 record. It's not that I get to say they're Super Bowl contenders and Spivak doesn't look at me like I'm crazy. Drew's probably drinking wine right now. It's the fact that all the doubters and all the haters, you just get to be quiet. The Broncos are elite. Like it or not, your record is who you are. They're 9-2 at the bye. They've got a couple of pretty good games as far as like gimmies. You never want to say that, but like
it's hard to win in the NFL.
Yeah, it's hard to win in the NFL. But you got a couple games you should feel pretty good about. But my God, dude, they are elite. And the haters don't have a damn thing to say today.
Cecil, you can bounce around and try to nitpick and parse through like what does elite really mean? What's a catch in the NFL? All those little things. But for many of the people, myself included, who were kind of stuck in this kind of mindset or this circular belief of like, hey, it's hard to win in the NFL, and the Broncos have won 8 of the 10 times they've lined up across from another team. And you are what your record says you are. You can't take it away. But there have been moments where it just didn't feel like what we were seeing was fully believable and sustainable. And what it was going to take for many of those people, I think, to move further in that direction and be in that camp that the Broncos are who they say they are and what their record says they are, was a win over a quality opponent and a team that's been to the last 3 Super Bowls consecutively and is in the midst of a Mahomes, Andy Reid era dynasty. Beating that team with everything at stake in a game that they were not and did not have the luxury to mess around with does a lot to move the needle in that direction.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fun to think about how far the Broncos can go. But during the bye week, I would imagine they're going to be looking at running backs.
They have to. They have to. I mean, what they have like 63 total yards, 60 yards as an offense on rushing the ball.
Yeah, running the ball, they had 59 yards on 21 carries.
Yeah. So we were accustomed. We were accustomed for 10 weeks or so of J.K. Dobbins averaging north of 5 yards per carry and us getting to kind of bang our heads against the wall and say, hey, Sean, if we need a first down, why don't we hand it to the guy that's getting you 5-6 yards a clip more often? And now we don't have the luxury. The Broncos don't have the luxury of that shield to be able to hide behind. And you're seeing RJ Harvey at like 2.5 to 2.7 yards a clip. You saw some bursts and some impactful moments from Jaleel McLaughlin, but I think there's plenty of evidence, just like with Tyler Bidet, that shows that over a longer sample size, that probably gets exposed. And I think RJ Harvey may be able to do more as he continues to get more opportunities, but I don't have a ton of confidence that the collective group of Harvey, Bidet, and McLaughlin is going to be able to elevate to what J.K. Dobbins was bringing you. There's a reason he was the starter.
Yeah, there's a reason he's one of the best running backs in the league when he's healthy, and he's never healthy. So we'll see what they do. But, man, can you imagine how much they're going to enjoy the bye week?
And you know what? As they should. You know, Mike McGlinchey was just saying like 11 days ago how much he was excited to only play 1 game in 23 days because they needed to get away from it all and they needed to decompress. Buddy, decompress now. You're 9-2 going into your bye. You have a commanding lead in the AFC West, and you are tied again for the best record in the AFC. And it's like this never-ending blink between, like, staring contest between the Colts, the Broncos, and the Patriots about who's going to blink first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then who gets that number 1 seed? I am officially crazy, so we can do the crazy meter here if you'd like. Tell me if I pass the crazy meter. The Broncos are a Super Bowl contender. Is that crazy or no?
Cecil, it's not as crazy as it was maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Since August.
You're right. No, you have been consistent about it. And I think maybe at the start of the year, I would have been like, hey, you're crazy. That's fine.
Well, full disclosure, you do our promos. And
I do.
You did a promo about me saying that they were going to the Super Bowl.
I do. And I just sent one off before coming on this show that basically asked the question, did Sean Payton just prove that his Broncos are legitimate contenders? Like, not playoff contenders. You know, you can put whatever label you want on it, but I think that gives credence to your argument that when you say the Broncos are contenders, there is at least an argument for every level of that. Playoff, AFC, Super Bowl, you can make an argument for all of them with what we've seen through the first 11 games of the season.
And can you believe, and KK brings this up in the chat room, they beat the Chiefs off a bye. What was Andy Reid after byes? Like 22-4?
21-4, yeah.
Yeah, so like they just beat
Stick that in your juice box.
Right. So because they had the preparation, they had the game plan. I personally don't believe the Chiefs were overlooking the Broncos, looking ahead to that Colts game. You had to deal with this Broncos game, which is much more impactful because it's within your division. Now you face the Colts. And again, the way the AFC is going, Jacksonville winning, like the Kansas City Chiefs may not make the playoffs at all.
You want to talk about a team that has known nothing since Patrick Mahomes became the full-time starters of the team, other than their season ending in overtime of the AFC Championship game at the earliest, to then a full screeching of the brakes, and the AFC turns itself on its head in a way that finds the Kansas City Chiefs firmly in the hunt and in danger of missing the postseason. It actually is. We say it all the time about the NFL parity and how anything can happen any given Sunday, all that stuff. I don't think many could have predicted the AFC to come out looking quite like this. I don't think that Drake May's ascension with what we saw in the early portions of New England, and again, they had a different coaching situation. He had to start behind Brissett and all that. Indianapolis with Daniel Jones, that was like maybe the one retread quarterback situation of late that we were all like, yeah, that's not going to work. There's no Baker Mayfield, no Sam Darnold, nothing going on there. That's closer to Geno Smith. And he looks amazing. And he's had moments of regression, but they're in the same boat as the Broncos. And offensively, especially behind Jonathan Taylor, they're arguably more dangerous in a lot of aspects. So I just don't think many people saw the AFC turning on its head the way that it has in this 2025 season. And if there was ever a moment where the Broncos could look around and say, we really have something to capitalize here, it's this tonight as they leave the stadium victorious against the Chiefs.
Are you ready for a test?
Yes, always.
I'm going to see if you pass the test.
Okay.
Because I want you to say this, and I want you to believe it. Not believe.
Not believe.
I always want you to believe. But, say the Broncos are elite. Just say it. Because they are. Regardless of the optics, they're 9-2. And they have a hellish defense, and they have a quarterback. Mike Naylor in our chat room, one of the real ones here. Mike says Bo is clutch. They have a clutch quarterback, and they have a defense that's like the 85 Bears. Don't tell me that they're not elite. The Broncos are elite.
Cecil, I had a guest on my show from Chiefs Radio earlier who quoted the Chiefs play-by-play man saying that Bo Nix is the guy who doesn't show up to class all semester and then walks in during finals week and gets straight A's, and nobody quite knows how it happens. And honestly, I think that's a funny kind of analogy to when you talk about the 3 quarters to 1 quarter. And Sean Payton himself said that our boy's got a little Ferris Bueller in him. And I think that when you look at what the Broncos offense can be when Bo Nix is a version of who he was tonight, or the version he was in the 4th quarter against the Giants, or for 4 quarters against the Cowboys, even the 4th quarter of the Philadelphia Eagles game, when you see that and give yourself the opportunity to expand it over 4 quarters, and you combine it with the defense, and then you add in as the sprinkle, the little sizzle of the special teams with a healthy Marvin Mims and a Jeremy Crawshaw who remembers how to punt on any given night, it's a real thing. The Denver Broncos, when they have things clicking for them, the way that they did for the most part of tonight against Kansas City and in small glimpses throughout the season that we've seen, they can line up and beat anybody in the NFL. You can look in the NFC across the pond, the way there, and say that, hey, wow, the Seattle Seahawks, the LA Rams, they look like forces to be reckoned with. They look like juggernauts. The Eagles are figuring it out. Tampa's dangerous when healthy and all that stuff. But if the Broncos play their best, the way that they did for good portions of tonight, especially considering they were down PS2, J.K. Dobbins, their best offensive and defensive player, and dealt with some other execution issues, I will give you that Cecil, that they look elite in a sense that I think they can line up and beat anybody.
So glad you said that. What do you got coming up on the rundown this week, Richie Carney?
Well, we're gonna break everything down with James Palmer, our NFL insider to the stars, tomorrow. He's got the best hair in the biz, and you want to talk about a guy who has been in a unique situation to be as close as one could be to both teams that just played at Empower Field at Mile High. James Palmer's got the inside on both things, and I'm so thankful and happy that he's a part of our station. So we're going to get into that. Probably going to dig into the run game issues a little bit and whether or not they could have, should have, and maybe still need to address something in that room. And honestly, I think we're all going to be kind of taking a look at our quarterback in Bo Nix and figure out, hey, was this the game coming out of the mini bye, heading into the actual bye, which Sean Payton allowed them to have by turning it down after the London game in his infinite wisdom? Has he turned a corner and turned a page in his sophomore season to potentially be peaking at just the right time? So one thing's for sure, the result of this game tonight means that the conversation we're having leading into their bye week is going to be pretty damn fun.
Richie, you're a young man. You're wise beyond your years, though. Wait till you get your gray hair. And
Yeah,
I will
right.
say this: wait until you get more crunchy, like I get. And I will say this to wrap things up, and appreciate you for jumping on board here. To get to it, you have to go through it.
I like that.
Okay, to get to it, you have to go through it. We're seeing this team grow right before our eyes, and I got chills just telling you that.
No, it's real, Cecil. It is something that we have grown accustomed to in terms of being around a winning franchise, watching good quality elite level football here in Broncos country, and it's what's led the Broncos to be one of the more esteemed organizations in the entire NFL. And it's taken a long, arduous, rough, makes you want to turn back path at times to get there. But with the ownership group that they have in place, the front office structure beneath that, the head coach in Sean Payton, who now has found alignment with his quarterback in Bo Nix. I don't give a damn what Colin Cowherd and Chase Daniel and any of those other guys say. The Broncos are on their way back, and the path back looks like it's going to be significantly shorter and steeper than the way that we got here. And I can't wait for it.
Richie, we'll see you on the rundown tomorrow, and I'll see you in studio.
Can't wait. See you then, Cease.
Peace. There we go. Richie Carney, everybody. He joins us most every week, hopefully more often, as the Broncos continue to win and marching towards the postseason, marching towards an AFC West championship, marching towards a run at the Super Bowl. The Broncos are elite. Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback, and the Broncos are Super Bowl contenders. All of those things are true. This isn't two things can be true at the same time, which is actually untrue. These are all their own individual truths. The Broncos are elite. Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback, and the Broncos are Super Bowl contenders as we sit here right now in the middle of November. And as I wrap up today's show with a bunch of gratitude, lots of gratitude for everybody out there. If you're regular viewers of Orange and Blue Today, you may have picked up on some of this stuff because Mason and I pretty much put our emotions on our sleeve as Mason and I go through, this journey. There's a lot of stuff going on personally right now. So to be able to have this sort of game, this sort of win, your support out there for Orange and Blue Today, for our Denver Sports YouTube channel, for Dover and Cecil, Tribe showing up big, supporting Mountain Dew. Like, I, again, being an old man, have to remind myself to enjoy everything, because things aren't always great. And when they're not great, you take your joy where you can. So I take a lot of joy today. I'm trying not to get choked up. I take a lot of joy today, and a lot of just thank you out there to Broncos country. Thanks for spreading the love. And it's not because I'm a braggart or super arrogant or whatever people say about me. I don't care. But Andrew Mason, for full stop. First off, all I gotta say is Andrew Mason, full stop. But I believe that Andrew Mason and I have the best Broncos show that is in existence. Nobody works harder at this. If I told you the hours that Mace worked to bring you all this show, it'll make your head spin. Okay. But I truly believe Andrew Mason and I in Orange and Blue Today have the best Broncos show that there is. And it's fantastic to have your support. It's fantastic as someone behind the scenes, and we all do a lot. Richie jumps on as a host. He's executive producer. He does this promo spots. We all do so much collectively to bring you, the best sports information and opinions out there. From Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, to Dover and Cecil, to The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay, to Denver Sports Tonight, featuring our guys like Will Peterson, Jake Shapiro, Neil Lapiro, Mike Rice, and others. Just the fan in general, our fearless leader, Amanda. Thank you. Thank you all. It means a lot. I never, ever take you for granted, ever. Because y'all help. You help a lot. And I think it's a good sign. And it's a good reminder for everyone that you've got help out there. You've got people that support you out there. You've got love out there, even when things are down, even when, family members are struggling with health. You've got love, you've got support, and never, ever take a moment where you don't share that, So I won't get too much more into it so I don't bawl in front of you guys. Listen, I've thrown up on this show. I've looked like I was on crack on this show. That one comment, or whatever game it was earlier this year, that guy's like, "Are you on coke?" No, I'm on Broncos. Like, I'm on Bo Nix. Like, that's this sort of feeling that they give. It's fantastic. So thank you all with humility and kindness. My heart is extended to you out there. Appreciate you all for supporting Dover and Cecil and the Tribe and Orange and Blue today and just Denver Sports and 104.3 The Fan. Thank you guys. And ladies, we couldn't do anything without you. And we appreciate you very, very much. Enjoy this one, Broncos country. I'm going to enjoy it quite a lot. Stay tuned, everybody, and stay frosty.